Hi, welcome, and I hope you're doing well. In this video here, I'll be doing a teardown on an Alienware laptop. Let me show you what model is this. So when I turn it around, I can see that the model here says P69F, and this is the Alienware 15 R3. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you what it looks like on the keyboard. And this is what it looks like. So the computer actually had a water spill on the keyboard. The computer does not power on, there's no display. So this is a good opportunity for me to take it apart and kind of show you where the liquid damage has happened to it. At the same time, at least you get to see what the teardown looks like. So in this video, I'll be explaining to you what sort of the RAM that you can upgrade, or maybe the hard drive you can change it out to or upgrade. So let's get to it. Now I might have some missing screws and missing items on this video here, but you get the picture. I'll explain to you each of the process. Okay, so right here I'm removing the Phillips screws. And obviously there are missing screws here on the laptop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Phillips screws. Once you remove the 7 screws, go ahead and pop it open. The entire back plate will just come right off. Now here obviously you can see that this is the secondary hard drive where you can add on to. This is the 2.5 inch hard drive. If you're planning to add additional capacity on it, you can install the 2.5 inch hard drive. Okay, so this is the C drive for this computer here. The OS, the data, everything is stored onto this M.2 SSD drive. Let me go ahead and remove it, and I'll show it to you what size of this is. The M.2 on this one is actually, let's see, does it say? 256 gigabyte. Probably it's too fine of a print for you, but this is 256 PCIe M.2 drive. If you want to upgrade to 1 terabyte or 512 gigabyte, I have a link in the description below. Click on the link. It will direct you on how to clone the existing M.2 over to the larger M.2 drive. You might want to watch that video if you're planning to upgrade your drive. Now this is the Ddr4 Ram. So to remove it, I just push the 2 corners, the thing pop up, and you can slide open the Ddr4 Ram. This is 8 gigabytes and 8, so it's 16 total. You can actually add 16 and 16 up to 32 gigs of RAM. Alright, so for those of you who are interested with the secondary M.2, you can actually have one here. Right, so this is the main M.2 drive, and this is your secondary if you want to add 2 M.2 on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this one up. We can slide it out. Pop this one up as well. Just lift up the clipper and slide the keyboard. This is the backlighting for the keyboard, and this is more likely, I think, is for the keyboard. If not, it's for the touchpad. Okay, and this is the battery. So I just put it down. Go ahead and open up the clipper. And once the clipper is open, you can slide out the flex cable. This one right here is, let's see what this is. More likely this might be the webcam on the front of the computer. This is the Wi-Fi card. Let's go ahead and pop it up. Pop it right out. Okay, so we pretty much have a lot of screws we need to remove for this process. Let's go ahead and begin removing the screws. Okay, so you might want to make sure that you are not mix matching the screws because the screws are not the same. They're all different sizes. So make sure you have the screw in the right position when you put them back together later on. For my case, I'm not going to bother with it. Like I said, the computer had a water spill. I just want to do a teardown and show it to you what it looks like. Quickly walk you through the process to get to where you want to get into, right? So like the motherboard replacement or the fan replacement. So let me get to that part. For some reason the magnet is not as sticky as what I would expect. So the screws are not coming out that easily. You do have 2 screws here in the very top. Okay, so once you remove the 2 screw, this entire exhaust bracket can slide away from your body. It just slide out, but to slide it out you sort of need to lift up the little clipper right here. So these 2 clipper are holding onto that exhaust bracket, so lift it up and you can slide it away from your body. That's how you remove it. Now we still have plenty more screws to remove, so go ahead and start removing them. So I gotta apologize to you. At first I told you that this might be the webcam cable. Actually it is not. That one is actually for the lighting. So this Alienware does has the RGB light on it. So this is what it's for. And yeah, just wanted to correct myself and tell you what that exactly is. It's the lighting for that. I wonder what is still holding on to the bracket right here. Everything seems to be quite. Everything is removed. Let me pop open the sidebar. So this is the lighting for it. let's go ahead and open up the LCD first. Maybe we'll find something at the LCD. So there are 3 major screws that hold on to the hinge. This is what we call the LCD hinge. So this is the 40-pin connector. Once you flip open that little clipper, you can slide a 40-pin down towards your body. I wonder if this is ready to come out. And right at this connector here, you can just pull it straight up. There's no anything that connects to that. Now the last thing is held on to with the Wi-Fi. It's held on by the Wi-Fi. So go ahead and flip it around and see if we can fish through the Wi-Fi cable. And hopefully we can just remove the entire LCD screen. So you want to be very careful with the Wi-Fi. This little gold clipper right here, do not break it. If you break that, then very bad. Okay, so you're not able to catch the Wi-Fi. Alright, so just kind of flip it on the other side to remove it. But yeah, the hinges all came off, and that's how you remove the entire LCD for this Alienware. For those of you who wants to replace the top cover right here together with the LCD screen, that's how you do it. And for those of you who just wants to replace the LCD, you can actually pop open the bezel like what I'm doing right now. Right, you can just pop open the entire bezel and remove the LCD by itself, meaning that you remove the screws here and then pop open the LCD. I'm not going to do that for this video. That is just for a screen replacement video. But if for those of you who wants to replace the entire screen with the top cover, there you go, you have it right here. Okay, so I'm still trying to work on this. Why the thing is still not coming out. I wonder what is holding it back. Maybe I need to start cracking it up. Okay. Alright, so I think I found the problem. Has nothing to do with this lighting here on the side. Let me put the lighting back in. I apologize on that. Let me recap of what you need to do right after we remove all the screws, okay? So you guys do not get confused. Okay, so this lighting bar on both sides is actually just the held on by the 2 double-sided tape. You can actually retape the bar back together. Now this 2 cable right here is actually for the lighting itself on both sides. Yeah, so one for the left and one for the right. Now this base right here, what I'm holding at right now, this entire base, once you remove the screw, what you need to do is you need to pop it open. So to pop it open, you got to go in between here, pop it right open just like that. Okay, so once you pop it open, the entire base would come right off. Okay, so that is for that. Now here you can see the expose of the motherboard. Now I remember the water was spilled right around this corner, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if you can find any corrosion or anything that builds on this part right here. So before I do that, I just want to point out to you that this is the battery. Okay, so the battery here held on by one more screw. Go ahead and remove that. Okay, once the screws is removed, you can slide the entire battery out. If you want to look for the replacement, this is 44T2R, or maybe the replacement part of CN-0546FF. Okay, this is the battery. The battery still looks okay to me. I don't feel like the battery is bad. It doesn't have any swell to it, but here you can see a little bit of water, so I believe it's coming from here, the damage. Okay, so let's go ahead and start continuing to remove some of the stuff. Right here is actually your DC jack connector. So this is the main DC jack. It goes onto the top here. Okay, so let's go ahead and disconnect this cable as well. This is your Cmos battery. For those of you who wants to reset the motherboard, this is the Cmos for that. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the CPU fan here. Is there anything still holding on to my motherboard? It looks like there is a screw right here. Alright, so I guess the motherboard is ready to break free. See what else is holding on. Yeah, this is the speaker. So to disconnect the speaker connector, just slide down the connector by itself and follow all along the cable right here, and the speaker will just pop straight up. There's no screw or anything that hold on to it, and this is the speaker for that. Okay, so if you want to find a replacement, maybe try to look it up on this one, which it says CN-8HC1VC. The print is too small, I can't really read it, but yeah, you get it. That's how you replace the speakers. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you what happened to my motherboard. We actually need to disconnect this DC jack. There's one screw holding on to it. Okay, so we can pop open that DC jack. So they have this double-sided tape that tape onto the jack. Go ahead and pop the jack open. Okay, so this is, I was telling you that the DC jack. So this is what the DC jack is, and yeah, that's how it looks like. Okay, now this is the CPU fan. The CPU fan connector is hidden underneath the motherboard here. So this is where you need to be very careful to remove it. Now there's one thing that's holding on to the motherboard, which is this tiny little cable right here to flip it up. So this one is actually the power button, right, to power on the computer. So make sure you do not break this little board. This is the power button board. Once you disconnect that cable, you can actually see the back of the motherboard. Now the CPU fan is still holding on to it, so let's go ahead and disconnect that. It's very straightforward. You just slide down the connector. Alright, so this is the fan. If you want to do a fan replacement, this is the part you need to look for. CN-04D3V1. This one right here is DP/N, oh sorry, CN-0JWH30. Alright, so those are your two fans. Now the motherboard is right on this part right here. So like I said, I think this is the water where it got spilled onto. You can see some of the corrosion starting to build. If you are very motherboard repair guy, you probably can clean those things off using the alcohol, and the computer should just turn back on without any problem. In fact, the motherboard actually works. I left it untouched for maybe about 2-3 weeks, and when I turn it on, the computer actually powers on and puts all the way to the Windows. Yeah, it's actually still a working motherboard, but it's just that something is wrong here on this part. Okay, so if you want to change the motherboard, this is the model number you want to look for. It's LA-D751P. Revision is 1. Okay, this motherboard is made in 2016. So the CPU, the graphics card, is actually all together with the heatsink right here. Okay, so if you want to apply new thermal paste or cool off the heatsink, you need to remove the screw, remove the heatsink, and apply the new thermal paste on it. Okay, at this point right here, I know you're very curious about the keyboard. Is the keyboard replaceable? The answer is yes. From the way you look at it, I feel like once you remove the screw here, and this thing would just pop right out and you can replace the keyboard. Yeah, this keyboard is replaceable. I think the keyboard model here is at the back of this one is maybe H0HH53H. This is the power button right here, and if you remove all these keys, you probably can open up this and you can just pop open the entire keyboard. Now for those of you who just wants to replace the whole keyboard with the palm rest and the touchpad, this is how it looks like. It's the entire stuff right here. This is what you need. Alright, so that's pretty much it, and this is the palm rest model here if you want to just change the palm rest. And this is another version of, you can look for the serial number or the product number. This is pretty much it. So if you have any questions regarding about this Alienware, just go ahead and comment below. And if you like the video, and if this video helps you to maybe upgrade the RAM, or maybe upgrade the M.2 drive, maybe even help you to dust off the fan, right? If your fan is really dirty and it's overheating, this is a good chance where you can remove it, wipe it down, get an A-can duster, dust it, spray it down, give it a good clean up on the blades, then you would have a very good ventilation for the computer. Alright, so for those of you who have blown speakers, and if you need to do a speaker replacement, that's how you're going to do that. And for those of you who need new LCD screen, yeah, just change the whole thing. Alright, so until next time, please take care. I'd like to hear from you, so comment below. Tell me how your repair goes, and whether you fix something or you need help, just comment below. I'm here to listen to you, and good luck with the repair. Bye bye.